because it's not removed, we're always redisturbing it. And we're in this is a return airspace. Anything you do in here gets reintroduced into the airspace. I remember working in here on a system, grinding pipes for this stuff, and people would complain upstairs because they could smell the grinders. The air was going right up from this room. They haven't changed much since I complained about it the first time, and then that's the key. Everybody's always saying, well, JD just complains. He's just a complainer. But you know, if you know what I know, you would know that this stuff is getting back out to where we're breathing. Where everybody is. Not just guys like me who are crawling on these ducts or working on these pipes. All of these, this is all got asbestos in it. And look, what they've done is they've just patched it where it's been ripped open. There's nothing saying it's got asbestos. There's a survey. There's an asbestos survey in the physical plant that says there is asbestos in its duct, but nobody knows that. No contractors, no. They just come in here and quietly patch it up again. And again, here's the big fan. You know, it's taking air from this room. It's taking air from these ducts that come through the ceiling. You know, returning it all into this room, back into this building again through this fan. And there's just debris everywhere. So, you know, had this been cleaned up when I first said something, or it wouldn't be all being spread again. This is the biggest, this is the problem. This is the problem. It just keeps getting reintroduced over and over and over into your airstream, folks. It doesn't matter what we say, what kind of EHSO spin we put on anything. It's just here. It has not been removed, and the worst areas only a very few people see. Here we are in the, I guess, the mechanical room for, this would be for Asbestos, right next door. The room we just were in is Tiers on the other side of that wall. But I just wanted to show you something about the ductwork where I say there's asbestos on it, and there's a survey, an asbestos survey that says there's asbestos. Well, in this room they've even marked it on the ducts, eh? So, you know, it's wrapping the ducts. Everything, all the duct wrapping is basically fiberglass mixed with asbestos, or asbestos. You know, just like I showed you in Defo Library, big loose chunks of it underneath there. This is on, this stuff moves the air we breathe. And speaking of breathing air, another problem that I should just mention now while I remember it is all of these big air handlers have banks of filters in them. And we have no program by where we wet the filters down to kind of keep things clean or anything. So, you know, every time that they're tearing them out, taking them out, putting new ones in, there's, let's face it, there's asbestos being shaken back into the airstream. Okay, here we are in Animal Science Mechanical Room, one of the mechanical rooms. And as you can see again, there's the blue parging on anything that's asbestos or suspect. And it's one thing to have it on the pipes and the big pipes and encapsulate it like that and say it's safe. But you look at all the blue on that door. That door, that whole wall back there is a fresh air intake for the building. So that's negative. It's on the negative side of the supply fans. This is a big, huge air handler. It starts in this corner of the mechanical room and it runs all the way around to the other end of the mechanical room. Now that's just metal on the outside here. But when you get to the suction side here, and where the cold air is, before the heating coils, it's all insulated with asbestos on the walls. And what they've done is every time it rips, they've just taken that blue parging and put it over top. Now guys have done construction on top. And all they've done is cover it with a little bit of, you know, orange plastic and some duct tape while they crawl around up there on those boards. But this is the suction side of an air handling system that they're crawling around on top of and disturbing. So that stuff, if it's working loose, is going through the screw holes and stuff into this system, into the animal science air system. That's connected by tunnel to the plant science system. Everything's connected by tunnels in these buildings. So if you go and you rip a piece of that off and it gets into the airstream, it's going everywhere. Why? Why, after all these years, have they left the asbestos on these breachings? Look at it all. Everything that's in blue are rips that have been covered. The other stuff in the green is just the old canvas and paint on top of the asbestos. And it's like I said, this is negative. This sucks air. This is the suction side of a fan. Look at it. Everything goes in. You open that door, everything goes in. I've been to the Pan Am pool lately, and I noticed that all of their asbestos elbows, even like in the change rooms, locker rooms where you change, they have numbers on them, and they say, you know, they're aware of them and that everything's under control. Here at the university, we'll take asbestos covered duct. That's like, that is like 2 foot diameter duct. It's wrapped in asbestos. I guess the canvas is getting compromised and the asbestos is falling off, so they wrap it in orange tarp. There's no signage, they're not warning anybody. This is a storage room for people in the animal science, entomology. I mean, the stuff's all obviously falling down on in here. That's the way we do things here. Part of the reason why I kind of recorded all of this. This is the Defo Library mechanical room. Now they might argue and say that I shouldn't be in here showing you this stuff, but this here is a return fan. This here big fan, that pulls the air from this room and the hallways around this room back into the air system, back into the building. Now, this blue stuff here, when they put blue stuff on the duct, these are air ducts. When they put blue on these air ducts, they're covering up spots where asbestos is coming out. And it's nice to have a program where you say everything is covered up and nothing's coming loose into the airstreams. But, I mean, this is what's giving me nightmares personally, is the fact that they say it, but only very few of us see how bad it really is in here. And I mean, do I have the business of telling you what's happening here? I don't know. It's your air that you're breathing. We're all breathing the same air, whether or not only a few of us have access to these rooms. This is the same type of ductwork right here. Around the back a little farther, where you find holes in it. You know, we're talking, I don't know how well you can see that. That's asbestos underneath the duct here. I mean, there's the blue, there's the blue, there's the blue parging that's you're supposed to use when it's ripped and stuff. There's a big hole, asbestos hanging out of there. Asbestos on this switch here. It's hard to show everything, it's not very well lit, but there's asbestos on that switch. You know, there's asbestos on the floor. There's some asbestos. You know, all you gotta do is step around the corner here and you're touching it. Here's a real interesting spot. They taped it up with duct tape. There's water coming down this duct that's wrapped in asbestos. Wrapped, big air duct wrapped in asbestos, ripped at the bottom. And as the rain comes out, it's leaving a trail of asbestos.